Okay, so this happened just a few days ago, when I was on a road trip with my cousin. I'll be referring to him as James. For a quick reference, I'm 13 and female. James is 21. James and I were on a road trip from my grandmother's to my aunt's house. I have a great relationship with my cousin, so my parents let me go on trips with him occasionally. It's a 10-hour drive, and we were about 3 hours into it. It was about 9 p.m. at the time. I was pretty sleep deprived, and everything was hilarious at that moment. So when I saw this red semi-truck outside my window, I just laughed my ass off. The man in the truck was heavyset, that's an understatement, and had a long, untamed beard. He had a creepy vibe, but I waved to them. He, in turn, did a groping motion to me. Finding it more hilarious than creepy, I started laughing harder, and told James the story, doing the whole groping motion and all. He looked creeped out and disgusted, but there wasn't anything either of us could do. A while later, about 4.5 hours into our drive, James pulled into a rest stop. I walked into the bathroom, and when I came out, the man was just standing there. He looked to be 6 foot tall at least. I looked out of the glass door leading to the building and saw James, glaring daggers at the door. I was confused and walked back to the car. What he told me really creeped me out, so much so I started to cry. Then again, I had been awake for around 20 hours. The man had stared and followed me inside the building, mumbling shit about me. James said he was basically talking normally. He attempted to comfort me, but he quickly said he had to go to the bathroom and went inside. A few seconds later, when I was in the car, the guy was at my window. He stared at me again, with a wide, creepy grin. He started saying that I should go out with him, and he was going to treat me good. He offered me candy, and just tried to coax me into his truck. I was too busy bawling my eyes out. Then, right on cue, James walks out and yells at the guy and threatened him. The guy backed off and got into his truck. He still just stared at me, the grin still on his face. We flawed it out of there, and we wanted to get as far away from that guy as we could. It was around 12 a.m. when we pulled in a motel to sleep. The rest of the night, till 8 a.m. was fine. Nothing really happened. But sadly, that didn't last long. When we were at a restaurant eating breakfast, the same fat shit sat across from us. He grinned at me, and James just looked pissed off. The guy walked by the table when he was going to the bathroom, and brushed his hand on my shoulder, doing the same on the way back. A quick note. James is a chill dude, and will let most anything slide. But because he's known me since I was just a baby, he's very protective over me. He's not like that to even my siblings. He and I are close. He was obviously pissed before, but at this point he stood up from his seat and walked over to the guy's table and started yelling shit about how he better stop following us and he better back off me. He made no threats, but he did curse a lot. I felt pretty nervous and just wanted to go. The guy stood up and smacked James and yelled how I was leading him on. Again, this guy was about 6 foot, and James was about 6'4". Their argument continued until the cops came and separated it. They got the story and came to the conclusion that because he was assaulted, we would press charges. He said no, and we just continued the day. The rest of the trip was pretty bland. The guy wasn't seen for the rest of it. However, James did follow me like a bodyguard whenever we went anywhere. Even though he was protecting me, I was terrified. He looked scary as shit. But honestly, he's as sweet as a cinnamon roll.